Good morning. I'm a little bit disorganized this morning, trying to sort myself out, get myself ready. Not quite got the hang of the YouTube live bit. I can actually get myself on the camera for YouTube. Walking back and forth. This is going to be a little bit disorganized this morning, but we will get there. Okay, so we're going to start off our Chi Gung session. That's not helpful at all. Got to get my camera right. There we go. Right. All ready to start. No, and now the Facebook one where. So, good morning. Chi Gung morning sessions. And now I'm ready to start. So join along, join in, join along, follow along and join in. Yeah, I've been trying to get the YouTube thing to work. So it's sort of like not quite going the way I anticipated it to go. So yes, there's quite an interesting interrupt here this morning. So not to worry, let's get ourselves ready for the Chi Gung. So we're going to do a bit of warm up, sitting down on one leg. So you sink in through the hip, through the knee, through the ankle, into the foot. So you're sitting down comfortably through the hip. Don't let your hip kink up or turn forward or twist in any way. You're just sitting down comfortably. Place the other foot, just rest it on the floor and just rock your foot back and forth. And we swap to the other side. And then pick up the foot and shake off your ankle. And swap to the other side. And then raise the knee as high as you can. If you can get the knee up there, brilliant. If you can only get to there, that's fine. And circle your foot round. Back the other way. And swap sides. So sitting down through the hip, the knee, the ankle, softening the foot, pick up the other knee and circle the foot round. Back the other way. And then put the feet together, circling the knees. Back the other way. And then come up. You're going to find your shoulder width. So with feet together, turn out the toes, turn out the heels. Turning out the toes, turning out the heels. That then finds your natural shoulder width. So the feet end up parallel, pointing straight in front of you. And then you just soften through the soles of the feet so that they spread out onto the ground. And then softening the ankles. Softening the knees. Softening the hips. When we say softening the hips, the knees, the ankles, what you're doing is you're looking to release the muscles down through the leg so that you're standing upright and you can transfer your weight straight down through the legs comfortably. So you're not favoring one leg over the other. You're not leaning forward. You're not leaning back. You're just allowing the legs to support your weight. The bones float in space. The muscles release so that the joints can open and sit comfortably one over the top of the other. So you shouldn't have any twisting. You shouldn't have any resistance through the joints. You're just trying to find out where you're holding yourself tight, tense, and rigid and allow that to release so that you can stand comfortably. And with the hips, you're softening the hips, but then in order to get the right muscle group working on the inside of the legs here, you're sitting down by tucking the tailbone under. So it's as though you're sitting down on a bar stool. If you need to just adjust the feet position in order to get the legs comfortable, then do that. You can adjust your leg position, adjust the hip position, let the tailbone tuck under. But you're not thrusting your pelvis forward. You're just allowing the tailbone to drop. So you're sinking into here. Then the shoulders come back so that they rest comfortably over the hips, because we don't want to crumple our body down. We need to keep the spine upright. And then the chin comes back slightly, which continues the stretch up into the spine and gives you a feeling of being suspended from the head eventually. And then with all the bones floating in space, we just relax the muscles down, release the muscles down. So this is known as Wu Chi. I'm just going to stand for a second and just start to breathe. And you want to be softening the chest, softening the diaphragm, and softening the belly. So as you breathe, your breathing can come down lower into the body, sinking into the hips, relaxing down through the legs. Allow the shoulders to open. So again, the muscles across the shoulders, the ball joints can just ease off. And softening the upper arms so that the elbows can open. Softening the forearms. Allow the wrists to open. And then soften the hands. And just focusing on your breathing. Allow the breathing to become regular and smooth as best you can. So you want to try and get the in-breath and the out-breath to be roughly the same length. Don't force it. Just allow the chest to soften. Allow yourself to sink down through to the diaphragm. Allow the diaphragm to soften so it can do its job. And then allow the belly to open so that you can sink down. So the belly opens up as you breathe in and closes down as you breathe out. So you're trying to create a stretch in the belly that pulls down on the diaphragm as you breathe in and pushes up on the diaphragm as you're breathing out. And then begin by bringing the hands up the center line. Turn the palms over and raise the hands up over the head on the in-breath. And then on the out-breath, circling the hands down, just releasing down through the shoulders. Let the hands circle down until they come down by the waist at the end of the out-breath. Slight pause. Breathing in, come up. And a slight pause. And as the arms just reach around shoulder height, you're going to continue the momentum down through, sitting down into the hips, into the quad. So you're using these muscles down here as you sink down. Then breathing in, you're coming up from the feet, releasing up through the hips, transferring the momentum out through the arms, and then breathe out, sinking down. So the speed of the movement is dictated by your own breathing at the moment. So whatever your rate of breathing is, try and move the arms in time with that, and the sinking in time with that, and coming up with the in-breath. And then we're going to do one more. And breathing in, bring the hands up to the chest. Turn the palms. Just let the hands come down so that you come to rest. And reconnect with the ground, creating your alignment. So the feet soften through the ankles. Opening the knees. Soften thigh muscles. Opening the hips. Tuck the tailbone under as though you're sitting down on a bar stool. Shoulders come back to rest comfortably over the hips and pull the chin back slightly to create a stretch in the spine. And the bones floating in space, allow the muscles to release. So they find their natural tensity and just hold everything in place without excessive force or resistance. Return to your breathing, so you're really trying to get the breathing now into the belly. Opening up the belly as you breathe in. Closing the belly as you breathe out. Clearing the mind and let the mind intent now sink down into the body. You're trying to get it down to the belly, but don't worry too much about that. It will happen. You just got to clear the mind and let yourself release. Then we're breathing in, hands come up to chest height. And then on the out breath, turn the left palm up, right palm down. Breathing in, hands come back to center. And breathe out, swap the palms. Breathing in. And on the out breath, you're now sinking into the hips as you swap the hands over. Sitting down. And then breathing in, come up. And breathe out, sink down. One more. As you breathe in, hands come to the chest, turn the palms to the floor, breathe out, push down, allow yourself to come to rest. Again, softening the feet, ankles, knees, hips. Let the tailbone tuck under as though you're sitting down on a bar stool. Shoulders come back to rest comfortably over the hips. Pull the chin back slightly to create the stretch in the spine. The muscles standing upright, floating upright. Sorry, bones floating upright, muscles release. sinking down in through the feet so that everything transfers nice and neatly and comfortably down through the center of both legs so that your weight is evenly distributed. You're not leaning forward or leaning back. And then we are going to disengage the shoulders, really release the shoulders, bring the arms up and swing left hand in front, right hand behind, come up and swap, come up and swap. So the arms are moving as though they are a piece of rope and the hands are a weight on the end. Really releasing the shoulders, the spine, sinking down, sitting down into the quad, the hips. And just really just allow the arms just to chill out, softening all the joints, softening the muscles so that the arms can swing comfortably. You can get a little bit more speed into that if you want. And then what we can do is turn the waist. So as my left hand comes down, I'm going to turn to the right, and then I'm going to come up and turn to the left, come up, turn to the left. So I'm moving my waist so that the shoulders can turn in line with the hips, and then the momentum transfers out through the arms. So I'm really releasing the arms now and making the function of the swinging of the arms more to do with the fact that the shoulders are released and then I'm turning my waist. So become more like one of those drum toys. And then continuing to release down through the legs so you don't end up over twisting the knee. There is some momentum going down through the legs, but just really try and release it off. So this is the waist turning and doing all the work. You're rotating around the spine, sitting back against the spine into the pelvis, tucking the tailbone under, taking your mind to the Tandien, and just let your breathing fall into a nice regular pattern so that you're comfortable. Change, just bring the hips square, let the hands come up to the chest and just push down. Let yourself come to rest. So again, feet shoulder width apart, softening the feet, the ankles, the knees, the hips. Tuck the tailbone under, shoulders come back to rest comfortably over the hips. And then pull the chin back slightly to create the stretch in the spine. And then let all the soft tissue just release. The bones hang in space. Again, working on your breathing, letting yourself sink down into the body. Begin rise and fall, so palms to the floor and forward. So this is our opening posture for Tai Chi, if you like. And then at the end of the in-breath, the hands are up at shoulder height, and drop the elbows, drop the wrists, and down as though you're pushing through water. That's so you don't just let the hands drop. And at the end of the in-breath, slight pause, and then return, breathing in. Breathe out, dropping the elbows, dropping the wrists, and sinking into the quad, tucking the tailbone under, sitting down. And breathing in, come up from the feet, up through the quad, lift the hands up, and breathing out, sinking down. So again, you're sitting back against the spine, finding your center, allowing the center to lower to the belly as you breathe out, and come up as you breathe in. Breathing out. Breathe in. And keep going. And one more. And then just circle your hands around to the right, bringing the hands up. Right hand in front of the face, the left hand continues the circle down. So you end up holding a ball shape in your center line. Take a breath in. And breathe out, just turn the waist to bring the hands around. And breathing in, square the hips, swap the palms. Breathing out, turn the hips to bring the hands around. And then breathing in, swap the palms, square the hips. So the movement of the shoulders and the elbows in space is dictated by the fact that you're moving your waist. So you're turning the waist, the shoulders and the elbows move. The hand position is the elbow joint acting as a hinge, and the hands just swap over. So the movement itself is actually quite small, but dynamically as a function of turning the waist, it appears to be larger. Don't forget you're sitting down, tucking the tailbone under, pull the shoulders back over the hips so you're not leaning forward, pulling the chin, so you create the stretch in the spine, and then just let all the muscles release down. Just enough tensity to do what you need to do, and hold the bones in space. Relaxing down through the legs, softening the hips, knees, ankles and feet. So if you don't get excessive rotation down through the legs. And then as you square the hips, circle up the lower hand. Breathing out, just let the hands come down. Come up a bit and just give yourself a little shake. Settling back down through the feet, the ankles, knees, hips. Tailbone tucks under, shoulders come back, chin comes back. Release the muscles down. Put the knuckle of the thumb in the tummy button, let the palm rest down. Other hand comes in flat over the top. Left hand under right for men, right hand under left for ladies. And then just sinking your weight down through to the feet so that you're evenly spaced on both feet. You're not leaning forward or back. Sinking in to the quad here, tucking the tailbone under so you're sitting down. And then just start to focus on your breathing into the belly, opening the belly up as you breathe in. And closing the belly as you breathe out. Change. Just bring the hands up, softening the shoulders, sinking the elbows, wiggle the fingers at the ends of the arms. Again, sinking down through the feet. Softening the ankles, the knees, the hips, tailbone tucks under. Rest the shoulders, so you set the shoulders comfortably over the hip so that the spine can elongate. Chin comes back slightly. And release all the muscles down. And bring the hands down and circle the hands at the ends of the arms. Change. Breathing in, coming up onto the toes. Breathe out, let yourself drop. Breathe in. And breathe out. In. And breathe out. Again. And one more. And relax. Give yourself a shake. Circle off the shoulders. The other way. If you need to, just turn the waist to open up the spine. Moving the shoulders in line with the waist. Softening the elbows and the wrists. Softening the shoulder joint. And then just shake the legs off. And we're done. So thank you so very much for joining me again this morning. I hope you really enjoyed the set. If you did, please comment, leave a comment on your experiences, any questions that you have or any feedback that you'd like to share. That would be brilliant. If you can tag, share and like and let this go far and wide so we can get more people doing the Qigong in the morning, or at least watching the videos later on during the day, that would also be brilliant. Again, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll be back at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Take care.